All right, hi everybody. Welcome to CSURams.com, along with Mark Driscoll, Brian Roth with you as we kind of put a wrap on last week's opener against Colorado, and then we'll look forward to the big game coming up this weekend against UTSA. And Mark, when you look back to Friday night, I don't know if anybody saw that coming. Colorado was pretty good. Colorado State struggled a little bit in their season opener.
But the Buffs set the tone of the game with the tempo, Brian. If you remember, they came out 3 and out, Rams punt. Buffs came out one play after another, almost as if they had a script memorized. Right. I mean, I don't know that a team can run a play and get back in the line of scrimmage much quicker. That set the tone. And after that, the Rams are back on their heels. They weren't playing with confidence, struggled on offense, a lot of 3 and outs and a couple turnovers. 6 3 and outs and 2 turnovers in the first half. Made for a long game and a 31-0 score at halftime. And so, yeah, it was a tough night.
There were some bright spots on Friday night down in Denver. One of them, Kevin Davis, career high 19 tackles. He was all over the field. I mean, Kevin Davis is a flat-out stud. And then I thought they got a pretty good night out of Jacob Byes, the defensive lineman.
I agree. I mean, Davis had as good a game as you'll see. Some of the tackles were down the field, but he was getting off the blocks, which we were having problems with. Byes did a good job. He got in the backfield a couple of times, did a pretty good job. But in the front line was having a hard time getting off the blocks, protecting our linebackers. But Kevin was terrific. He really had a terrific game.
Meanwhile, on the offensive side, there's a change at quarterback, and a lot of times when things go wrong, the first guy to get the blame is quarterback. We completely understand that. Nick Stevens didn't play particularly well. Faton Bauta comes in, leads the Rams to their only touchdown of the contest. And earlier this week, Mike Bobo saying that Faton Bauta will start at quarterback on Saturday.
Quarterbacks get too much credit and they get too much blame. Yeah. But in this case, I agree with Coach's his change. Faton came in, Brian, you saw it, brought a little energy. His mobility changed the game a little bit on offense for the Rams so that they had a little more multiple. It was pretty stiff before with Nick. And so I like the move. Let's give the guy a chance to start a game, see what he can do. Made some good throws after he got the butterflies out. The team seemed to respond. I mean, one of the things that's going to be important this week after a tough, lopsided loss is who's going to step up as a leader.
Right.
Who's going to grab hold of the reins and say, okay, fellas, here's where we're going. Faton showed a little of that in the second half. He really did. On defense, we're going to need some bell cows over there who are going to get the group excited and get them off the schneid and get them playing better.
Mark, you've been a former player, you've been a former coach. What's the message been this week for Mike Bobo? How do you bounce back from a game like that? Because, let's be honest, it's one game. It's a non-conference game. It happened on Labor Day. There's still 11 games to go. What's the message if you're head coach Mike Bobo and the coaching staff?
In some way, I don't know exactly how coach does it, but the coach's job is to set the players up for success. So I think, and you heard him right after the game, he said, this one's on me. I think he needs to communicate to everybody, okay, we are going to work harder. We're going to do some different things as coaches to help get you guys ready. You go back to the basics. Keep it pretty simple, I think, for the guys. Find the things that everybody can do well. Get them in the places where, okay, I know I can run this play. I know I can make this play. I know I can run this defense and not make it too complicated. I think the tendency sometimes is we got to junk it up. We got to do more things. In my mind, simplify it, cut it back, get some success. There was some success. Dalen Dawkins ran for 88 yards, averaged over 5 yards a carry. That was good. Michael Gallup got open a little bit, made some plays. So there was some good things to build on.
Right. We talked about the quarterback position, and again, competition opening up, and it's not just at quarterback, competition opening up along the defensive line, at the cornerback spot, wide receiver spot. Thought that perhaps Colorado State might have had a few more receivers help the quarterbacks out. And listen, it was a team loss, there's no question. All right, so you move forward. Here we go, home opener, Hughes Stadium, the start of the Farewell Hughes Tour. We're going to honor the 1960s.
All those guys back from the 60s.
I know.
Can they walk?
Well, let's hope so. We're going to see at halftime. They're going to gonna honor some of those guys
It's
at
great.
halftime. But
It's just great.
UTSA coming in for the home opener. They went to 1-0 with a 26-13 win over Alabama State last week. Alabama State is an FCS team, a Division I AA team, but still dominating fashion. It's a ball club that the Rams beat down at the Alamo Dome last year, 33-31. CSU really had to hold off the Roadrunners down the stretch. Your thoughts on the game coming up? I know the Rams will be ready to go in front of the home crowd.
UTSA came out. I think they had 447 yards, good mix. Their quarterback, Dalton Schaub, he 20 for 25 or something like that, 274 yards, ran a 51-yard run. So the guy's a pretty good player. He looked good, a little tiny bit of tape we've seen. Now their starting running back, Williams, got hurt. But the other guy came in and did a pretty good job. And
Williams is a kid who went for 170 yards rushing against the Rams last year.
Exactly, over 1,000 yards. So there's some talent on this team. They've been building. Got a new coach, Frank Wilson, guy with a tremendous pedigree. Running back coach at LSU. He was voted, as I read a little bit, he was the top recruiter in the country one year for one of those classes down at LSU. So he was a very successful high school head coach. First head coaching job in college, and it looks like he has the team playing with a lot of energy.
Yep. Well, the message from Mike Bobo here this week is you can't let the one loss turn into two losses because you're hanging your head from the week before. So Colorado State out in the practice field you see here behind us. So far, so good. A good week of practice. We'll see how it plays out on Saturday. We'll go on air at 12 noon and of course, kickoff at 12 o'clock, or at 2 o'clock, I should say, and we'll have it for you on the Colorado State Sports Network. All right, for Mark Driscoll, I'm Brian Roth. We'll see you Saturday afternoon out at Hughes Stadium. Thanks for watching, CSURams.com.
Sept!